Good afternoon, everybody. I have a special treat for you. Andi Von Zepplin, your tour guide, is here to talk to us today about the Escorted Queensland Outback Tour.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome. Pleasure to be here.
So, today we wanted to go through quickly what will be covered in this presentation. So, Andy, our amazing tour guide, is going to go over the itinerary of the tour day by day, as well as some tour highlights, what's included in the tour, housekeeping details, and then answer any of your questions about this tour.
Hmm. This is a very special tour, and I'm pleased to be here. And I hope by the end of this presentation you can join us. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you will experience some wonderful things that you may not even believe is possible to do. So
Wow.
please listen.
So let's dive right in with maybe a brief overview of the itinerary. So it's a 3-day tour.
Yes, it's a unique tour because it's a charter flight. So we're using an aircraft which has got a high wing, so we get some great views as we fly along. It's a beautiful aircraft, a French aircraft called an ATR 72. So we're going to be 35 people on a 72-seater aircraft with toilet facilities, and we've also served refreshments while we're traveling, so it's quite comfortable.
Everyone gets a window seat.
Well, it's possible because we only have 35 and there's 72 seats. So it is really, really big windows. And we've used this aircraft, by the way, on many occasions, especially for our Lake Air tours. We've done these tours for many years. And last year, when Lake Air was so full, we did quite a few of those. And everyone who traveled on this aircraft for these special tours really enjoyed it. So when you come along on this tour, you will feel very comfortable. These are high wing aircraft, so you see beautiful views as you travel along.
Wow. So we depart from Brisbane and we take our very fancy private chartered airplane and land in Winton for day one.
Day one. Now, Winton's a beautiful little town. We fly all the way out there. It's a non-stop service. We're flying on, as I said, the ATR 72, which is a lovely aircraft. And when we arrive there, we do a tour of the dinosaur park. Now, this is unbelievable. This is called the Australian Age of Dinosaur Museum. The government put millions of dollars into this, and they found these dinosaurs in this area. So it is really exciting. And as you can see there, these are the type of dinosaurs that roamed Australia millions of years ago. And this museum has got all the attractions. We do a special showing at the museum, and they give our tour special presentation in a wonderful theaterette, and you will be amazed what roamed our land in Australia.
They look so lifelike as well.
They do. As a matter of fact, when you do the walk around at the Dinosaur Museum, the walkways are quite well done, and it's a very beautiful footpath. And beside the footpath, you see all the dinosaurs. Of course, mock-ups, but you feel that you're part of it. It is really wonderful.
Not a literal Jurassic Park, just a very impressive replica.
Yes, they don't come alive. No, I'm sorry to say.
Wow, so that sounds like a very impressive day one. And then day two, you jump back on the charter plane and fly to Longreach.
That's right. But you know what? We do a couple of things before we fly to Longreach.
Oh.
Yeah, because we have lunch in town in Winton. And Winton is the famous pub where Waltzing Matilda was written and sung for the first time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's Australian history right
Australia.
there.
So after seeing the dinosaurs, we move a few centuries forward. We go into this fantastic pub where the original piano is, where they first sang Waltzing Matilda.
Oh my gosh.
So everybody get their vocal cords ready because we will be singing Waltzing Matilda in the room before lunch, and you will have the best time, and I guarantee that. So let's sing along. And not only that, after lunch, which is included in the tour price, by the way, we walk just down the road and we go to the Waltzing Matilda, a museum, which also houses some of the most beautiful things that you've ever seen, and this will be quite a highlight while we're in Winton. So after we do that, we get on the aircraft and we fly to Longreach.
Right. So then in Longreach, we've got a few highlights as well, but we'll save those for our highlights section.
Yes.
So that's day 2. And then in day 3, we carry on with a few of the Longreach highlights.
That's right. So as said, day 1 we have the flight from Brisbane out to Winton, and then we fly on to Longreach. In Longreach, this is a précis of the tour. In Longreach, we will be doing quite a few things, especially going to the no-go station. And then on the 3rd day, we even have some more interesting events, which we'll be talking about today.
So let's dive in. So we've discussed the Australian Age of Dinosaurs Museum. That sounds incredible. The Waltzing Matildas Centre. Lunch at North Gregory is also included on that first day, which is the pub you mentioned.
And we'll actually stand around the piano, which and sing Waltzing Matilda. So bring your good voices along, because that piano is the original piano that they played when the first time they sung Waltzing Matilda. So vocal cords ready, please, and we'll have such a lot of fun doing that.
Such a genuine piece of Australian history right there.
Yes, it is.
So then another one of the highlights you were just speaking of was the station.
Yeah. Also, by the way, one of the wonderful things about this tour is we have our own private aircraft. So, we're in charge of the aircraft. And so if we're running a little bit late or a little bit early or whatever, it's our aircraft. So whoever joined us on this tour will feel very, very privileged to be on your own aircraft, so private aircraft. And we will then fly onto Longreach. Now, Longreach is a wonderful place. I love it. Right there on the Thompson River. And we're going to be staying at a beautiful motel in the middle of town. So if you want to go for a walk, you'll be able to walk around Longreach. So we're there for 2 nights at this wonderful motel. And then on day 2, we'll go to one of the big stations called the No-Go Station. And we'll meet one of the highlights of the tour. The owner of No-Go Station, his name's Richard, and wait till you meet him. He has got a personality as big as his hat. It is huge.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of fun. He tells many stories about the country, about Longreach, about everything. So it's really a lot of fun. And he also has a good family there. His whole family lives out there. They have a beautiful store in Longreach, which we'll be going to, by the way. You can get some great souvenirs at the store there. And also, they've got some lovely restaurants in town, which we'll be visiting along the way. Yes.
And the next tour highlight.
Yes. Well, depending on how things are, we are planning to go on the Thompson River. Now, that is a fantastic experience. Now, if the social distancing has not come down, relaxed, we may be doing a special tour at No-Go Station. And there's a wonderful tour which we will be doing under the stars. The meals are going to be wonderful. So, there's so much included in this. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner on all days are all inclusive. So it's an all-inclusive tour. So you will really enjoy yourself. So the motel, by the way, is a 4-star motel in Longreach. And as I said, it's downtown, so you can go walk around Longreach and have a look around. It's quite comfortable and safe, and it's great to walk around there.
That sounds amazing. So the award-winning Thompson River Cruise sounds absolutely fantastic, but the other tour also sounds very impressive if social distancing hasn't relaxed.
Exactly.
So either way, you're going to have an amazing time seeing the Thompson River. So our next highlight, the Qantas Founders Museum. Now, I didn't know until very recently, when I was looking at this tour for the first time, that Qantas was actually founded in Outback Queensland.
That's right. Outback Queensland is the hometown, and that's why Qantas is Queensland and Northern Territory Aerial Services. So that's why Qantas's name is Qantas, right? Queensland and Northern Territory Aerial Services. How do you like that?
That's an amazing fact.
Yeah, there you go.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there you go. And of course, the Qantas Founders Museum has been totally revamped. Now, that photo that you're seeing there is actually one of the older photos. We haven't got the new one yet. There's actually a whole tent or they've built a structure over the 747, and they do some wonderful sceneries on the roof of this new place that they've built. Like a big roof where they actually do a sound and light show. So that's going to be
Wow.
quite interesting. And of course, we will be the museum itself. We'll have a personal guided tour there. We've got some great tour guides organized, and all of Qantas's history is in there. And it's a great museum, and you will be so impressed. They've put extra money in there in the last season. From last year, I was there, but they've put even more money into it, and it's going to be a really great tour, and you will be so. I'm sure you will so enjoy it.
It's such a fantastic way to see a museum as well with a tour guide because you can go through and read every plaque. I definitely know quite a few of my friends love to do that while others just like to get the highlights. So having a tour guide gives you that first-hand experience.
That's what we'll do. So, and after that, after the guide, we'll let everyone, of course, wander around and do your own little hunting around for facts and figures. And also, there's a great little shop there, Qantas shop, which you can do a little bit of souvenir hunting for your family and friends when you get home.
Well, that sounds amazing. So that covers off on our tour highlights. Of course, there's plenty more on the actual tour, and we'll have the full details of the tour in the link in the comments. So now we're going to move on and just cover off on what the tour includes. So what does all inclusive mean? Now we've spoken about the fact that they are private chartered flights from Brisbane to Winton to Longreach and then back to Brisbane again.
Yes, and the aircraft is a 72-seater, so there's plenty of room. Our maximum capacity for the tour is 35, and so we'll have 72 seats, so there's plenty of room to move around. Window seats, we don't fly that high, so photography is great out the window. The ATR 72 is a beautiful French aircraft with big windows, so photography is really good because we use this aircraft when we do Lake Air flights, which we did last year, and we might be doing one this year. We've been talking about that too, so keep tuned, huh? So it's a great aircraft, and as I said, you can take beautiful shots out of that because we don't fly that high, and you will really enjoy it. And by the way, the aircraft has got its own private facilities, and we also serve coffee, tea, and drinks on board the flight. So that's quite a lot of fun. So it's fully pressurized aircraft, so you'll be most comfortable.
Wonderful. And then the tour also includes your daily breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's all your meals. So you don't have to fork out any more
No.
payments once you've paid for your tour. That's everything.
It is true. So we've tried to make it as comfortable as possible, and all that is what's not included is drinks and some coffee and teas if you want to do so while you're at the museums, etc. So there's always these good snack places that you can have and enjoy that stuff. But on the aircraft, we will have snacks and we will have drinks on board and coffee and tea. So it's going to be you won't get hungry or thirsty. That's for sure.
And then all of our entrance and sightseeing fees. So that's our entry to the Australian Age of Dinosaurs Museum, the Waltzing Matilda Centre, the Stockman's Hall of Fame, the Queensland Founding Museum, the cruise, all of those bits and pieces, they're all covered by the cost of the tour.
Exactly. So one price, and is all inclusive, including accommodation. And also, I think a highlight that we must talk about is the lunch on the last day. We go to Ilfracombe, which is not many people would have heard about it, but it is a pub which has won the Queensland Pub of the Year last year.
Wow.
Yeah, and this pub we're going to have a wonderful lunch there. I've been there a couple of times. It's quite some characters go there, so hopefully we'll meet some of them. A great lunch is being organized by the owner, who's a good friend of ours, and so we'll have wonderful lunch before we go to the museum, the Qantas Museum. But in the morning, one thing that we should talk about is we're going to the Stockman's Hall of Fame, and that is a big highlight because they've got some new areas at the Stockman's Hall of Fame which you can go to, and we'll be taken as a tour around there, and then have free time to look around too. And there's so much to see, and there's a lot of interactive little theaterettes going on that you can watch, and lots of interesting things about the Stockman and the history of Australia. just fantastic, just fantastic. That's what Longreach is well known for. It's a Hall of Fame, and of course the Qantas Museum, and which will blow your mind. It'll be really really enjoyable.
Wonderful. So now we have some questions that our fans sent through before we started our presentation, as well as a few questions that have come through while we've been chatting.
Of course.
So the first one, when does the tour depart?
Okay, on the 18th of September, it's for 2 days. So we leave on the morning of the 18th of September. And the 18th of September is let me just, that is, just to be sure, that is the Friday. So on Friday, the 18th, we leave. We have Friday night and Saturday night in Longreach, and we come home on Sunday. So it's a weekender that we're away. And the aircraft leaves from Brisbane Airport and from the private area of the airport. But those little details we let you know when you make your bookings. Yes.
Absolutely. So then, what is the baggage allowance?
Yeah. Well, we're allowed to carry up to 17 kilos of luggage.
Okay.
So there's plenty. But look, you don't need all that. We're only away for 2 nights. But I must say, many people do like to take a lot of things. It's not going to be that cold out there, but it's nice to take a little jumper and a jacket. Because the evenings out west do get cool, and it's nice to be warm because when we're touring early in the morning and late in the afternoon, it's good to be comfortable. But of course, the great thing is we're in one motel for the 2 nights, so we can drop anchor, and you don't have to worry about repacking for the 2 days. So that's a lot of fun. That's really good. Yeah.
So then, some of the questions that we've had come in while we've been chatting. When is the tour departing, which you have touched on? Is there a limit to the number of participants? So I think you have touched on that. It's 35.
We're going to be limited to 35 people, but as I said, the aircraft's got 72 seats, so we'll have plenty of space. And as I said, the aircraft is toilet equipped, and it's got a galley, and we've got crew on board that will be serving drinks and coffee and tea, and so it's very very comfortable. Yes.
Quite a boutique experience as well, capped at 35. So you're going to have quite a specialized amount of attention the whole time. So fantastic service, be able to ask questions. It's going to be a very personalized experience.
And the other thing is that the coach that we're using for the touring is a 50-seater coach. So there's plenty of room. And I know that sometimes people, even though they're traveling together, like to have a window seat each. So there's a good possibility everybody can do that. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And then the last question was, what's the accommodation like in Longreach, which again you have touched on. It's a 4-star motel in the heart of town.
Exactly. So you can walk around town. So for those who are really, really early birds, I know that on some of the tours that we've done, many people like to get up early and go for a walk in the morning. Well, you're right in town. You can look at the little shops in Longreach and go down to the bakery and have maybe a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and have an early morning bun if you want to. And that's what I like doing. I get up early, go for a little walk, see what the weather's like. And so maybe you can join me for a little walk because I'll be on that tour. So maybe we could get together and have a chat over a cup of coffee or a cup of tea early in the morning at the bakehouse, at the bakery. It's fun.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Well, Andi, I can't thank you enough for joining us today and going through all of these highlights as well as answering all of our customers' questions about the tour. It sounds absolutely extraordinary, especially for those interested in Australian history of any kind, really.
Well, look, I'll tell you, there's only 35 seats. We're filling fast. We have a few bookings, so if you're wanting to come along, get in quick because there's only limited seats. So I'm not saying that to push you at all. I'm just saying that because that's only at 35 seats and we've got about 20 people on this tour already. So let us know as soon as possible because we'd love to have you along.
Thank you so much for joining us. We will put all of the details for the tour, inquiries and how to book in the comments. Have a lovely afternoon.